Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about Microsoft Azure Cloud. And before starting with Microsoft Azure Cloud, I want to talk about a data center and its setup. What are the challenges we'll have in data centers? So I also advise we are having prior knowledge on data centers, a bit knowledge on it at least, and basic understanding about networking and servers will be an added advantage for Microsoft Azure Training, I can say. And if I take a simple example to talk about the advantages of using cloud computing. So because Azure is a cloud computing, is one of the cloud computing. Microsoft is one of the cloud service provider who is providing cloud services, which is called as Microsoft Azure. So if I talk about a typical data center scenario, what will be the challenges and how those challenges can be taken as advantage to cloud computing. Let's say there is a company called XYZ, which is going to be established. And for that company to establish, we need an upfront investment. And to set up the data center, we need to have a data center team, and it will take a lot of time to set up the servers, network devices, storage devices, and there should be a power supply to run all this. So it's basically telling us clearly we need upfront investment, we need a lot of time to set up, we need a data center team to manage, and we need a data center. So these all components, let's say we established. So what will be the flexibility option? So the flexibility here can be upgradation or decommission. If I want to upgrade, I need to have it on. If I want to decommission, the investment what I invested will be of no use. So how we can eliminate these factors and how we can take advantage when it comes to Azure. So let's say here this company XYZ is, instead of going to data center services, let's say it is going to use Microsoft Azure services, which is one of the cloud computing services in the world. So it is going to use Microsoft Azure. So Microsoft Azure is one of the cloud computing service provider in the market, where you can use the cloud services over internet. Let's say I'm going to use Microsoft Azure, so I don't need to invest upfront money here. So the first factor, which is upfront investment, is very minimal. So I have to invest, but it is not a huge investment what we invest for setting up the data center team, everything. It is a very, very minimum amount where you can start with just purchasing a subscription. So these factors you'll be able to learn in the upcoming sessions. What is subscriptions, all those things, you'll be able to understand more. So let's say I can able to purchase a plan for Azure. I'm taking a plan, and with this plan, I'm paying a minimum amount, whatever the plan cost is. And then under that, I'm going to deploy my servers. Under the plan, I'm going to deploy my servers. So in this plan, so let's say I purchased the plan, and under the plan, I'm going to have my servers, storage, network. So these all will be under my plan. So here I can call my plan as subscription. Okay, so it is as simple. To give a simple example about this subscription, let's say you have a Netflix or Amazon Prime subscription, so under which you're going to get some services, like you will be getting different options, like you will get movies, you'll get shows, you'll get different things to watch in this particular Prime or Netflix, right? Same likewise here also, if you're taking subscription, you will get different services which you can deploy and manage them. So in Azure, you're paying a minimal amount and you're deploying your services, whereas this deployment of these services will take very, very less time compared with on-premise Azure. Compared with on-premise, Azure will give you very less time. Sorry, Azure will take very less time to deploy these services. And what about the flexibility? Flexibility in Azure is very, very big advantage, I can say. Whereas if you want to upgrade your server, you can upgrade your server within minutes. If you want to decommission your server, you can decommission your server within minutes. Whereas it is not that, okay, you have to invest a lot of money, you have to procure servers, and then you have to delete them by spending your money there itself. So that happens in a typical on-premise scenario. But in Azure, let's say I created one virtual machine here. Okay, so this virtual machine, this is on-demand purchase in Azure. Whatever we create or we use. So those are called as on demand. Like whenever we want, we are going to order them and we are going to use those services. Like say for today, if the virtual machine is costing me some 100 rupees, for example, okay, just an example. So for one day, if it is costing me 100 rupees, I no need to go and spend a lots of money for a single physical server. So I'll just run my server, and once I'm done with my project, or once I'm done to decommission this server, I will go and decommission this server if the requirement is to decommission, or if the requirement is to upgrade, I'll upgrade my server instantly. So whereas it will not take much time for me to upgrade it, whereas in on-premise, it will take a lot of time because you need to place a request with hardware vendor. The hardware vendor will be visiting your data center services, and he'll be upgrading, or he or she will be updating the physical servers if the request is to upgrade the server, which requires a lot of downtime. And again, you need to have a backup plan. If there is any issue going wrong in the upgradation time, again, you need to have some secondary plans, rollback options. Whereas in Azure, we can have a backup easily, whereas you can have your upgradations fastly, decommission fastly. So which means time which is going to consume for all these operations is very minimal, and you have a lots of flexibility here, and you are going to invest very less amount of money when it comes to Azure. And all the services which you are going to deploy, either you can go with on-demand, and you have different types of subscription plans in Azure, which you can make use of. I'll paste the subscription comparison link in the comment section for your reference as well. So this is a quick and simple example, or a common example which I can take to explain about on-premise and Azure. So that's all for this session. So in later on sessions, we'll talk about one by one component, and we'll understand about Azure Cloud completely. Thank you so much.